Hi, my friends. I thought I would just pop on here today to talk about something that's really been preoccupying my mind lately, and that is how I moderate my social media platforms. I, of course, because of the content that I post, I get a lot of hate and a lot of negativity, a lot of bullying and persecution of minorities and so on, LGBTQIA community, women, um, matters to do with race, all the big issues, right? And so it's a constant battle for me to keep up with everything that's going on online. And depending on the platform, I can exert a certain amount of moderation into each of these. One of the most difficult platforms to moderate, of course, is X, what was once Twitter, where there is very little control. It's very difficult to um, block people and report people, and you can delete things, but still other people can see them. And so it's very, very difficult to keep X, my page on X, a safe place. Facebook isn't as difficult, but it's still very, very difficult because Facebook shows my work to as many people as it can sometimes, and that aren't necessarily my followers. Excuse me. So I end up getting a lot of people on there who don't like my content and would never follow me, but they see my posts for some reason. Well, I know the reason, and then they come on with their hate and make it a very terrible place. And so I have to work hard to keep Facebook as safe as possible, but it's very, very difficult because of the flood of negativity and negative people that come on my posts and just make it a very unpleasant place. And it's mainly difficult because there's just so many. It's like being swarmed by mosquitoes. And you can smack one or two or whatever, do your best to keep it at bay, but it's just like a flood, and it's very, very difficult. Instagram is easier to moderate, but it is still very, very difficult because, again, some people come on there that have seen my posts who wouldn't necessarily follow me or appreciate my work. And so, but I am trying my best to make Instagram the safest platform. And at this point, it is the safest platform, except for, the Lasting Supper community where they're paid members. And so it's much easier to moderate my the Lasting Supper Facebook group because everybody there pretty much shares the same values, and therefore very, very, very seldom do negative comments or hateful comments arise. So that, of course, my Lasting Supper Facebook group is the safest by far, but you have to be a paid member to be a part of that. So that's one of the main reasons, actually, why we make the Lasting Supper a paid subscription because it provides a kind of a gateway. Uh, Trolls and bots and hateful people aren't willing to pay to be a part of that group. And of course, we screen everyone who comes in. We vet almost everybody who comes in to make sure that the Lasting Supper community is kept safe. Now, with the Lasting Supper, however, we, I mean, with Instagram, I work very hard at checking the comments and here's how I do it, and you can copy my strategy if you like. So this is how I do it, is if I see a hateful comment, if it's against me personally, like I'm a heretic or, I'm going to hell or anything like that, I uh, often will leave it because it's against me personally. However, if the comments are attacking gay people, trans people, whatever, or women, or people of color, or immigrants, or refugees, or anything like that, I'm going to delete the hateful comment. And if the person persists, I will block that person. I used to be nervous about doing that, but I'm not nervous about it anymore. Am very, I feel very liberated in deleting hateful comments and blocking hateful people. And I get kickback from that. People say, "Oh, you're just creating an echo chamber, or you just want to keep your bubbles, your little bubble, and live inside your little cushy, comfy little bubble, and it doesn't reflect reality." That's not the way I see it at all. The way I see it is, this is my room, this is my house, and if you come into my house and start shitting on other people, my other guests, I'm going to ask you to leave because you're disrupting the fellowship, you're disrupting the community unnecessarily. And so that's the way I look at my Instagram account, for example, is that this is my house. And of all the platforms, you can get away with more on the other platforms like Facebook or X or whatever. But when it comes to Instagram, my Instagram account, I'm going to police it very, very hard. And it's because this is my attitude. It's my house, and I get to decide what goes on in my house. Uh, but secondly, I work on the presumption. It's my default position. I assume gay people are accepted. I assume women are equal. I assume people of color, refugees, immigrants, etc., are on the same level as the rest of us. That's my assumption. And if somebody comes in trying to destroy that assumption, challenging that assumption, they want hierarchy, they want patriarchy, they want white supremacy, they want straight to be the only way, etc., then their assumption, their default position is wrong, in my opinion. It's wrong, it's outdated, it's like a flat earther, in my opinion. You're behind the times, you do not understand, you have not researched, you're not open minded, you're closed minded, you're hateful, you're discriminatory, you're bigoted, you're racist, you're a misogynist, you're a homophobe, you're an Islamophobe, and all that. And it just doesn't belong in this world of love. And so I want my Instagram account to be as loving a place as possible. I mean, it's my account. It's like I said, it's my home. And I get to determine what my home feels like for everyone. And so I want it to feel like a safe place. I want people who are gay or trans or of another religion or atheist or women or people of color or whatever to feel safe. I want them to be able to say, Naked Pastor on Instagram is one of the safest spaces I've ever come across, and I feel welcome there. I feel at home there. I feel safe, relatively safe. And so I want to perpetuate that perception. I want people to know if they go to my Instagram, they're going to feel like it is well maintained, that it's a safe space, and that it is monitored and facilitated and moderated well. And so that's the attitude I take. And you can do the same thing on your Facebook account or your Instagram account. You can say, this is what I want this space to feel like. I want it to feel safe for everyone. And therefore, I am going to do the things that ensure that by deleting and uh, sometimes maybe correcting or blocking if I have to in order to make this feel like a safe space. You're allowed to do that because it's your home and it's your house, and you get to create the vibe for your house without any guilt or shame or second guessing. I am very much of the attitude that we are all one. We're all connected at a deep and fundamental level, and doesn't matter if you're gay or straight or trans or not, or white or brown or black or whatever, or that you're Christian or non-Christian or atheist or Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist. And there are all those kinds of people on my Instagram account, whether or not you're a man or a woman or whatever. I want you to feel safe. You know, the old saying goes, I don't know exactly how it goes, but everyone's welcome except those who don't welcome everyone. And so that's my attitude. That's my default position. That's what I operate from. Everyone is welcome except those who don't welcome everyone. And so I refuse to fall into that old trap of trying to uh, argue and defend, the rights and everything, and try to wrestle with all these competing worldviews in order to make Instagram a safe space, because it will never happen. It just won't work. So I want people to know this is my assumption, this is my default position, this is the ideology I work from. The assumption I work from is that we're all equal and we all belong. And those who don't belong are those who say not everyone belongs. Do you see what I'm getting at? And so I feel very liberated that way. In fact, my Instagram has gotten bigger and bigger. It's over 150,000 followers now, and it's getting harder and harder to moderate. But over the past few days, in fact, I've just decided, you know what, I got to get more, and I have to moderate more diligently there, and because I've lost a little bit of that sense of safety there for people, and so I'm going to be even more strict and make sure I do delete hateful comments and discriminatory comments, or anything that attacks or undermines or questions or invalidates any of these groups of people. And so that's just my assumption. I wanted to share that with you, and I'm allowed to operate from that assumption because, again, it's my house, and you can do the same with your own personal accounts, your own pages on social media. It's your house, and you get to set the standard. You get to create the value system. You get to create the vibe. And so I just want to encourage you to do that. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And I appreciate everybody who lets me know what's going on. Hey, have you seen this comment? Have you seen this person? They seem like they're a bot or a troll or a hateful person, and they're just trying to destroy the vibe. And I'll get in there and delete them. If they persist, I'll block them. That's just the way I'm going to operate. That's my promise to you. And I hope it's a helpful standard that you might find useful to live by yourself. Okay? I love you very much. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.